Alright, so this would be episode number 2 of the uh, website series. I don't even know what I'm going to call it at this point. So, if you have a blank screen like me, or if, you have a problem because you might have clicked some arrows, played around with the editor a little bit, you're probably like, dude, I can't do anything. I can go to File, New Window, how do I fix this? Well, the answer is very simple, and what you're going to do is you're going to take your mouse and go on to the left and start moving it up and down until you find this arrow, and then this little arrow is going to pop out, and you're just going to click it. Okay, so now that you've done clicked it, we're going to create our first project. So, here inside of my folder, okay, so once you open up your folders, what we're going to do is we're going to set up the base files for the site. So you're going to go inside the X folder. It's going to be here on the left for you, but I've created a folder called X inside of my recordings folder. And we're going to click on your name. So find your name, click on it. Here's mine. So then we can create a new folder for our project, because if we store all of our websites in here, they're all going to be one gigantic website, and we don't want that. So we want them all in their own website folder. So go to Home on your file browser and click on New Folder. Now we're going to type in whatever name you're told, or whatever name we want this website to be called. So I'm going to call this one How to Website. There we go. It can be whatever you want to name it, sample project, just to kind of demonstrate, you might have some other folders and stuff. So then we're going to double click and get inside of here. And now this is what we call the root folder. This is the root folder of the website. And when we mean root, we mean this is the, uppermost level. You can't go any higher in the website than this folder. This is where you're going to store your initial index.html, or you're going to store some of the other pages. And now you can have a bunch of folders and files and everything inside of here, but this is the root folder. This is as high as you should go. You should not go back to your name folder, because this is not the root folder. This is above the root folder. We're thinking within a box now. We're thinking inside of the how-to website, or whatever in the world you named it box. Do not leave this folder. We can have other folders like images. We can have a folder for our CSS. It's pretty much all you're going to need for now, right? And we can access and edit these and head back out to our How to Website folder. But do not leave this folder if you're editing this website. Now, what's super easy and the add-in makes super simple. I'm going to copy the path first of all. And in order to do this, click on the little folder here, right? And you can right click and copy, or again, school computers might not allow it. Hold down Control and hit C, right? And that's all you need to do. You can let go after that. And we're going to go inside of Atom here in the background. I'm just going to click to make this a focused window, which just means I'm activating it on my computer. And we're going to right click and add new project folder. And you do this for every single website. You can see I got a few websites up here that I was working on. We're just going to right click, add new project. And so you're going to want to click on this up here and just tunk. And we're just going to, well, once we hit Control V, right, you click right here again, you hit Control V and it pastes it in there. And I'll show you what it looks like. So it's empty, Control V, it's going to paste it. And then you hit Enter, and you're going to see all the way on across. Windows does this for you. So then you should see your folder where you created your CSS folder, your images folder, and now we're going to hit Select Folder. And what this is going to do, Select Folder, Select Folder. Okay. Oh, okay, it just suddenly worked. Yeah, so you're going to right click your How to Website. So it doesn't matter if it's the active or not, just right click it. And you're going to see a gigantic drop down. What we're interested in is creating either a new file or a new folder. So if you just had the How to Website and you didn't have a CSS or images, you could create a new folder, which is going to look exactly like the new file. And you can see the shortcuts in a light gray right here that you can use whenever you activate the folder. So whenever you highlight it blue, and let's say I hit A, right? Let's shift A. So I can hit A, and it's going to create a new, see it says push A, and it's going to create a new file, so I'm going to hit A, it's going to create a new file. Usually it's just easier to right click and go to it, so that's what I do. You're going to go ahead and click on new file, right, and it's going to say enter the path for the new file. Atom is silly. Okay, it does not know that this is an HTML file. You can edit all kinds of different languages. We have to tell it what we're doing. So I'm going to create the first you should ever create on any website, index, right? It is .html, remember that. But just because I know some people are going to mess up on this, I'm going to go ahead and enter it without adding .html. You should add .html in the end. If you mess it up, right, and you do not see index.html, you need to go to your file, right click, and go to rename. And then we can go right after index, make sure that it's not highlighted like that, click after it, so that when nothing's highlighted, and type .html. This tells it's an HTML file. And now we have an HTML file, index.html. What's super awesome about Atom is you can actually create an HTML file super fast. Watch this. We type in HTML, right? And we press enter. And look at this, it done set up the whole thing. You got the dog type HTML in there. You got the language for English, your LTR, you got your character set, UTF-8 encoding, right? You got all that stuff you don't even worry about. Now you just need to insert your information. Now we just type in our title. This is my website, right? So I'm going to put in my website, and it's going to be what appears in the top of your Chrome tab. So now, instead of having to type out your big old link for your CSS files, we can just type in link, enter. So we're going to create a link tag automatically for you, right? Just because we typed in, again, link, right? And once you see that, you click on it or you hit enter, and it's going to create it automatically for you. But you're going to notice something about your link here inside the CSS. It's going to be /css /master.css. We don't want that. So we want to create our own CSS file. We don't care what that's called. So we're going to go inside the CSS folder. We're going to click it so that the arrow is face down. And we're going to right click, new file. And we're going to be like, this is my home.css. And now we have a home.css file, just like how you should have typed the HTML. And now we're going to set the body. Always do this with any website, unless you're just weird. We can do margin 0, right? And then that's pretty much it. And then if you want to set like a font family or something, I don't know, font family. See how it auto suggests stuff too? You can literally type out like, if I want to see what starts with an F, like I got float, I got filter, I got flex. But I want font, not size, not style, not weight. I want font family, so I'm going to click that there. And then we can find which one we want. I want to put mine in monospace because I'm weird, and it automatically does it for me. I hardly have to do anything, hardly any typing at all, and I've already got an entire CSS file. So now we can go to File, and we can go to Save All, right? And the little blue icons are going to disappear because now they're saved. Or you can just do Control S to save the file that you're inside of. Now we're going to go back to index, and we're going to change this. We're going to delete the initial slash, because that's always going to pull you up to the root directory if you're working with an actual server, but we're not. We're working with this. And then you can leave the CSS alone, and we can highlight master, and we can put in home, or whatever you named your CSS file, and we can Control S to save, just so you it works. And now my style sheet is linked, and I've hardly had to do any work at all. Now, whenever I want to preview it too, I can go over here to index, I can right click, copy full path, and you want to make sure you copy full path because copying project path is only going to bring you up to the how-to website folder. You want to go to the copy full path so that it brings you up to the HTML. Going to go to our Google right here, or whatever in the world it brings you up to, and we can right click and paste, or we can highlight it, right, and Control V, because I'm trying to teach you these shortcuts, and hit enter, and it's going to bring you up to my website, right, with nothing in it. So let's add some stuff to our HTML.